Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to Algonquin Park. I've got the kayak fitted out in a similar way to how I did going down the Saugeen River, and I'm excited to get up to Algonquin Park with my old buddy Garrett. He'll be piloting that boat there, and yeah, we're gonna have a good time. 3 days on Lake Opeongo. Should be fun. So we're finally here, beautiful Lake Opeongo. Ready paddling up beyond the store there. We got 3 nights here out in the bush. Kayaks are absolutely stuffed to the gills. I don't think we could fit any more stuff on these boats. Everything's clipped in, ready to go. Should be a fun one. Got some loons, like right here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lake Opeongo. We've paddled for, what, 2.5 hours?
About that.
2.5 hours. We've done about 9.2 kilometers. And we're on Windy Point. Camped on Windy Point. Me and Garrett. The views from here are amazing. You can see the whole lake. And we're definitely camped on the pointiest point of the point. Yeah, the pointiest point of the point. So I'm in the woods behind the campsite. And I'm looking for this stuff, firewood. And it's pretty slim pickings, honestly. Like, you're not allowed to cut trees from anywhere near the water's edge, so we've got to look extra hard for some twigs. There's some. So I'm walking laps of this trail looking for firewood. And you might think, like, a log like that, at first glance it looks really good, but I've only got a little handsaw. So this stuff, like this little handsaw, that's not going to do it. Like, you need a chainsaw for this, or a big, oh yeah, a chainsaw would do it. So I can gather up some of the deadfall, but that's about it. I've done 3 laps of the trail now, looking for good firewood. It's hard to find. It's pretty cleaned out. It's the end of August, so I'm pretty sure everybody has come and had their pickings. But like, this is the hike I've got. Just a long, sheer drop into the water. Look at that. It's dead quiet. So I'm out looking for firewood. And I have to say, we left my area at about 10 o'clock. And we did about 4.5 hours to get to the park. That took us another hour to drive across the park to Lake Opeongo. And now we're camped on Windy Point. We did 10 kilometers of paddling. And it was a good day. And we're set up right across from the East Narrows into the East Arm, where we're going to go for day 2, night number 2. And then on the way out again, we'll camp in the South Arm again. And that'll be Tuesday night. Forecast is good so far. Tuesday we might get a little wet. It's absolutely gorgeous out here. I love this park. So I'm on my 3rd lap to get firewood, and I made it all the way to what looks like another campsite. Look at this. Perfect campsite. So let's have a look. The view over here is gorgeous. This is a good site. I better call Garrett. We brought radios so we can cover more ground, but this site would be good to... Oh, wait. Nope, this wouldn't be a very good site. This would not be a very good site at all. Good site for firewood maybe, but you're not allowed to camp here. Look at that. So this is on the south side of Windy Point. Aim for the pointiest point of Windy Point. So we came across there, landed here in front, and the boats are lifted up onto these rocks where hopefully they're safe for the night. We might move them maybe up there for the night, but we'll see. That looks like a good spot, actually. Okay. I'm gonna get some water out of the lake and then treat it with aqua tabs. Here we go. This is the view from our campsite. Not a cloud in the sky. There's one thing I haven't done in this park, and that's see a proper Algonquin Park starry night. I think we might get lucky. It is a gorgeous evening. You can see campfires across the lake. And it is dead quiet. Morning of day 2. How did you sleep?
Pretty good.
Same here. Campsite was perfect. And we woke up to this. Absolute glassy smooth lake. A little bit overcast. It's kind of chilly, but it'll warm up. Beautiful morning. Breakfast and a drying rack. Dry out those socks. So, for those of you wondering, this trail leads to everyone's number 1 question, which is the number 2 question. Here we are. Campsite's down that way. Nobody else around, deep in the woods. And this is how you go. Someone was nice enough to leave some toilet paper. That's awesome. We'll leave that behind for the next crew too. You're on camera.
Boo.
That's where we're going today. The East Arm Narrows and into the East Arm. Okay, so it's the morning of day 2 and I realize I haven't done a site tour yet, so before we strip camp, this is an awesome spot to put your boat. We fit 2 of them up on this rock. It's about 2 feet above the waterline. Super safe spot for leaving the boats overnight. So from the boat storage and launch area, you come up the hill here and wrap around. And you come up to the campsite itself. Fire pit. There's a nice rock to sort of spread out on. Tent. It's really kind of a nice site, and the view was just stunning. I mean, great spot for night number 1. This site even has cell reception, which is pretty cool. People returning from the portage in the North Arm. Algonquin Outfitters. These boats round this point pretty regularly throughout the day, but at night you don't have to worry about them going by. Some canoers over there. So I came right out to the point here, and I'm observing the clouds, and it looks awfully precipity in here. We might get rained on today, so we'll keep the rain jackets close. Back on the water, you can see Windy Point behind me. We did a quick adjustment of the steering because it has loosened up the cables. Since we got these brand new, there's been a breaking in period. Anyway, we're on our way to the East Arm Narrows, where adventure awaits. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the East Arm. That's the end of the channel, and we're on our way this direction. There's a campsite there. That's what they look like from the water. So the wind has been at our back most of the morning, and you can see On my left here, this is Opeongo Island, and it stretches away to the south. We're working our way up the eastern edge of it, and we're going to try to maybe make the hop over to Dead Man's Bay and see if we can snag that campsite. So, what do you think, Garrett? That the plan or what?
Far north as we can go.
All right, as far north as north goes. Here we go. The wind is at our back, so we're able to just ghost along the eastern shore of Opeongo Island. It's just super relaxing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, truth is that fish are pigs. This is a smallmouth bass that I hooked while I was trolling along. Picked up some weeds on the way, but he's definitely going back. He's the smallest smallmouth I've ever seen. Lunchtime, day 2, hot dogs, lunchtime fire, and we're gonna make some craft dinner as well. Should be yummy. So the landing for that site is not very good. It's very rocky, and I ended up to my knees in the water trying to get the boat ashore. So we're looking for a site with a better landing. That was good enough for lunch, but we're not going to spend the night there. It's very rocky shore. So we're going to go to the north end of Opeongo Island, and hopefully there's a site there. We are down the backside of Opeongo now. We are now headed down the west side of Opeongo Island. So that landmass over there is Opeongo Island. In the distance is the Narrows. And then also on this side is a point. On the back side of the point, the map says there's 2 campsites, and that's what we're aiming for now. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We have come ashore now on a campsite in view of the Narrows in the distance. That's where we need to go tomorrow morning. So we came from there this morning. We've done almost a full lap of Opeongo Island, and now we're here checking out this campsite, trying to figure out if it's worth staying for the night.
Where do you rank it?
We have decided to stay here for tonight because the risk of going any further and not getting a campsite is too great. So we're just going to call it a day, and we're pretty winded. We'll have to tally up how far we went, but this is home. We're going to get eaten alive by bugs tonight. So we're going to get some mosquito coils on the go, bug spray, set up the tents, and make some food. Here we go. So this site is interesting because there's really nowhere level to put a tent. So we just sort of found the flattest spots we could and setting up camp. That's the closest thing to real firewood we've had in days, isn't it, Garrett?
Yep.
It's all been like twigs and stuff, and finally we find like a big dead tree that we could still saw down. So we've actually got real logs. This will be a good cooking fire. It's gonna be fun. This little pile of twigs here, that's pretty common for what you find in firewood here. We managed to find a dead tree, which gave us actually some pretty good logs. So this is sort of what it takes to get firewood out here, is a lot of running around looking for sticks. There are mushrooms everywhere around here. It's night number 2, camp 2. Like, here's another one. Like, what is this? It's fungus. Like, what kind of mushroom is this? Like, what the heck is this thing? There's another one here. That was a chilly night. Very chilly. Morning of day 3. We are packing up and hitting the water. It's about 9:35 in the morning. Here we go, day 3. So this site really has an awesome little launch. Like, I'm only in the water up to my knees, and you can slide your boats right along these wooden runners and slide them in. It's actually awesome. Slowly drifting away from the site. 10 o'clock is the start time. We're headed for the East Arm Narrows, and we're headed south into the South Arm to find our last camping site. So this is a big crossing. We're way out in the middle of the lake now. We expect this is going to take us about an hour and a half to do. We can see the channel markers. Crossing's almost done. We still have to paddle all the way down that lake. It's a good thing we have one more night here. That's a long way. We are now well into the South Arm. We're headed for Engelhard Island. It's another big crossing, so that's another hour or so. But we did the crossing from our campsite last night to the East Arm in an hour and 10 minutes. So we were moving pretty good there. So this next one's another big one, and when we're done, we're gonna have lunch. Because it's about 11:30 now. The crossing to Engelhard begins. So we found a campsite to stop for lunch, and way over here is the East Narrows, and we came from well beyond them. So we're on Engelhard Island for lunch, and then who knows where we'll end up. So first impressions of this site, actually not bad. There's tons of firewood all ready to go. That's amazing. And then there's this table way in the back. This thing's pretty amazing. So our lunchtime campsite came with firewood, and I am heading into the backwoods to find the bathroom. Here we go. Oh, there it is. There she blows. Not so bad. How do you think Site 3 is today, Garrett?
Challenging.
Challenging. We've got a lovely beach entry. Our fire pit. Tent pad right there. And if you come around the corner, there's a second tent pad just over here. And this lovely beach. This isn't terrible. We can live here. This is a good spot. So we've decided to stay here. We've pulled the boats up. We literally have a view of the point, and that point just around there will be in sight of the outfitters. So it looks like we got about 3 more miles to go. What's that work out to, Garrett? That's like 5-6 kilometers.
Be a little under 5.
5, yeah. Should take us about an hour. But this is home. I could definitely get used to this. My tent pad. This'll do. So it has started to drizzle and we've hung our food. It's probably 15 feet in the air over that branch. This huge tree. Like, I don't think we could get our arms around this thing if we tried. But it's up good and high, so we're good for the night. And back to camp. There you can see our bear hang way up into the tree. And it's very far off the ground. So we've pulled the boats up. We've got them now protected behind a couple of big logs. So they're now up on the beach, and you know, the water's right there. So we're doing the best we can here. And then, yeah, rain's coming down, but I suspect it should not be a huge storm. Just precipitation.
Pins your case underneath there.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Anyway, grab my cup, and we're off to bed. It's the morning of day 4, and it's raining. We're leaving today, though, so we have to go out in it, unfortunately. Tent stayed dry most of the night. I really don't want to go out in this. So I just had a pretty wet and wild ride out to the Thunderbox to do my morning routine, and it was pretty miserable, but I got it done. I don't think there's going to be much filming today. We're 3 miles from the access point, so we're just going to paddle it, I think, and get it done. And then head home, because it's day 4 and it's over. It's the end of the trip. It's good fun. It looks like I slept on my hat. That's okay. It's the morning of day 4, and the lake is a little rougher. Everything is soaking wet. It's hard to tell, but I'm pretty sure it's all whitecaps up north. It's all coming in through this channel and shooting down the way we're supposed to be going. So it's at our back, which is kind of nice. So we've stripped camp. Taking a tent down in the rain sucks. It sucks so bad. Plus the sand. That was not a good combination. I'm gonna have a lot of work to do when I get home. It's a very wet morning. So we moved the boat, and it's the only dry spot on the beach. Everything's soaked. We're getting ready to go. We are headed for the exit. Conditions are windy and wet. There's a heck of a swell going on in the bay here, coming down from the northern reaches of the lake. But we've got a lovely tailwind to help take us out. So, we're just bombing it straight downwind. This is great. Hey, it's Opeongo Outfitters. They're going out in this. Interesting. Crossing in, the winds are very strong, and they're from right back there, straight up the east arm. There's a lot of fetch behind us, so we're actually starting to build some pretty big waves at this end of the lake, and we're surfing. Some of them are surfing us down, so it's actually good fun. But it's hard because you have to maneuver all the time. It's fun though, good fun. There it is. Civilization. Another adventure finished. Safely back to the outfitter. Going home. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the trip's over, and yet again I forgot to film an outro. So I'm back home, I've laid off all the courses, and it turns out we were very wrong when it comes to our distances that we traveled every day. Obviously we got the scale on the map totally wrong, so don't listen in the video, don't listen to any of those distances. They are wrong. Total distance traveled was like 31 kilometers or something. We did a full lap of Opeongo Island, and then we came down south again. From the third campsite, it was just a quick 20 minutes downwind to the exit, and we had a great time. So thanks a lot for watching, and like, share, and subscribe.